Hello everyone. It's so strange making a video after so long. I haven't even logged into YouTube for I think 2 months now, and I just logged in today and it was very weird looking at my feed and all the art videos. I've been going through a difficult emotional period, a long period of time, and I've been very hard on myself and even nastier than usual. Anyway, I thought of making this video because while I am in a bad place emotionally, mentally, not mentally, emotionally, and some things I'm not able to create, over this period I found out that there are a lot of things that I can create, and I have been doing things for all this time. And I was wondering if there are several types of creative block, because I think if I try to sum up what sort of things I can do, there are a lot of times more analytical, using a different part of my brain, not flowing, curvy, loose and immediate lines, but rather something more geometric, more structured, straight lines. Makes sense to me to think of it that way. And also I find myself gravitating towards areas or media that I am more experienced and familiar with, and therefore more comfortable and confident in. So I collected a few examples and I wrote down what I want to mention so I don't forget anything. Okay, let's go on. And yeah, I want to say that when I logged in today, I saw on my YouTube dashboard that I have 684 subscribers today, and I want to thank you for that. I know that usually people thank their subscribers when they reach round numbers and when they reach really huge numbers of subscribers. But I think 684 subscribers is amazing. That there are so many of you. Probably, I also follow some people that I don't really look at their videos anymore, but it means a lot to me to know that you probably like what I do or what I say. You have some interest in seeing what I do or say sometimes, and that's a lot, and thank you for that. Okay, so creative block. I'll start with the things that are easiest for me to do, and a lot of time that's just writing, calligraphy. A lot of times I would sit on the sofa in front of the TV and either write words from the ABC, practicing my lines, or sometimes I just I watch different shows and I just write words or sentences or part of sentences that they say, and that way I don't have to think about it. I really try to concentrate on my movement and the consistency of what I'm writing and the shapes of my letters. And if I'm if I've been writing for a while, this is the 4th page of the day. A lot of times I find that my lines get more fluid as I go along, and that's nice. So that's the easiest for me to do. Drawing mandalas is something that I really, really love doing, and this one is the start of one that proved too complicated for me to make, too creative and requiring drawing skills, and I just left it. Do I have something else here? And I cleaned all the pencil lines because I scanned them. You can see the numbers of the scans that I make. So I have a lot of mandalas that I made a while ago. I don't love all of them, but I did them, and my pens and my pencil and my compass are the tools I used mostly in this period of time. I love this one and this one. And I wanted to show you that not all attempts are successful. I have quite a few of this sort. I hope everything is in focus. So, drawing mandalas. Another thing that is really comfortable for me, a comfort zone activity, is designing in Photoshop. I'm a designer before I am a drawing person or painter. And let's put something nicer in the background. And so using Photoshop, that's my favorite program, the one that I am most comfortable with. And what I do is either I clean works that I scan or digitize some creations, or I'm making whole designs in Photoshop, vectorizing, cleaning. Okay, what I wrote here is that when I'm working in Photoshop and cleaning or recreating designs or vectorizing them, it also makes me feel like I'm doing something very useful, that I have an artwork or a design or a creation that I can use later on. I have a whole lot of stuff that I can just pull and use in the highest quality I can have it in. So that feeling of doing something that's useful and not just trying to reignite my creative fire is makes me feel good. Coloring mandalas and patterns. This one was quite bold, I think, because I tried to create color gradations to some degree, and when I'm less confident, I just if I use watercolors, I use them in just solid color in areas, and a lot of times just going over with colored pencils, which I'm more comfortable with, but I don't have the patience to work only with colored pencils most of the time. And here's one that wasn't as successful in my opinion, but I did it. Nothing. These are printed versions that I printed on watercolor paper, because the originals are on this plain paper that is very smooth and fun to work with the pens, but doesn't take water very well. And also the pens that I use are the the pilot ones at least are not waterproof, so they smear. I have two Pentel ones that, no, not Pentel, these are the Uniball senior pens, the broad and the fine 0.38 one that has a smaller nib. So these are my waterproof versions to the pilot that I really enjoy using. Okay, so wasn't going to talk so long about that. Lettering, I love creating lettering designs, placing the letters within shapes or making them fit into one another. And I started with this one, for example, Spread the Love. I tried out different options and then went on to this one, and I made the text here even fatter. I'll try to edit in the digital final work. I don't have it printed, I think. This is another example. That's what I've been doing this last month. So this also gets my analytical side to take part, and that makes it easier for me. Just analyze and think, and then I clean it all up. I scan this and I recreate it in vector shape, and then I can play with the background. Oh, and as to using the computer, I have to say that this is also induced by me getting a new monitor. I have the Asus ProArt 27-inch, and it's color accurate and it's beautiful, and this really makes me want to sit in front of the monitor and work. And another side benefit to getting this monitor was that I had to reorganize my room to accommodate for two monitors, and I rearranged everything and had to clean it all up from the base up, and it also made me sort my ever-growing paper piles. I threw out a lot of things. So lettering is a recommended activity. And as to working on the computer, I also made these little cards that I really enjoyed making from different works. Were a lot of fun to make, and I also made some with my lettering work. This is also a lettering design that's full of positive words going in all directions, and I made it into a seamless pattern like it. This is also made into a seamless pattern. So when I'm feeling more brave, more confident, I pick up my brushes. Watercolors are, well, I haven't been using brushes as long as I have been using pens and the computer. So that's the areas that I'm more fearful of and feel like I have to be more expressive and that everything has to be more perfect. So the easiest sort of watercolor tasks that I can do when I'm feeling a bit more confident is creating geometric patterns. And I just take my ruler. I think I did it with the larger one, but it's alright. And I just create a line, and you see I can use both sides. So, and unfortunately these don't align well, so I can't use this as a seamless pattern. And then I just went over and colored the shapes, overlapping them, and I added some colored pencil, sorry, on top. So this is one, another one. These were actually a lot of fun to make. And here's another one. And the last pattern I have to show you is one that is more creative. So when I'm feeling even more confident and not analytically creative, I find making leaves a nice activity. I don't like how these came out. I'm not happy with them. I wasn't enjoying it as I was moving the brush even. I also don't like these ones, but I kept trying. I tried a different sort that I made once and really enjoyed making, but I wasn't in my flow here with these. According to the color palette, I think I made these leaves when I was making my patterns. These were enjoyable to make. I like the colors here. Nothing here. And when I am even better with my brush, more complicated leaves for me, more flowing lines. And this is really a comfort zone activity, just making leaves. I draw a line and making one leaf after another. This is not a recent activity. What else have I got? Drawing with colored pencils. I didn't get an example, but the last video I uploaded of the sheep, that's a good example of that, and as you can see that was a while ago. Lately I've just been doing the lettering and Photoshop and computer design, and also using existing stuff, works that I already digitized or cleaned or vectorized, to create print-on-demand items. So that's also in the more analytical part of my work. And we're getting to the end of my list. Just a few more things that I noticed that work for me, that maybe will be helpful for you as well. I have a playlist of music that is happy music. So because there are a lot of songs that I like, but they're more they make me sad. Sometimes they can even make me cry, and I love them, but they don't help to uplift my mood. So I have a playlist of happy music. And watching less news and thinking or worrying about world issues, I know that I get sucked into those, and I notice that a lot of times when I'm in a depression, I gravitate toward things that personally I perceive as more difficult. I would watch, I would learn about wars. I went over the two world wars in different periods of time. World War II is a recurring theme in my life, and sometimes it's from the victim side, and sometimes it's the battles and the soldiers, which I find that is it's analogical to being more analytical in a way. It's not feeling the suffering, but the fighting and the solutions. And so news is related to that. I can get sucked into that and just, well, we had a war and we had a social upheaval and a political drama, so there were a strong magnet to pull me into watching too much news. And world issues, it's really hard to feel discouraged when you dive too deep into ecology or lack of compassion and world issues, you know what I mean. And I think trying to heal, it's better to give yourself, they still matter, you can still donate and try to make a difference, but not engulf yourself in these subjects. For me, that works. And this is an ongoing project for me. Self-forgiveness and kindness. There's I heard someone say, I can't remember where or who, say that a lot of times the things we say to ourselves are things that we would never tell a friend or someone we care about, and it's absurd that we talk this way to ourselves. So with that, I'll end this video, and I might film another one. I'm in the mood and it's nice and quiet today. Okay, thank you for bearing with me. It will be interesting to hear your types of creative block, and if you had a way of cataloging them, if there are some things that you managed to do, or if it's completely taking a step back and moving away from everything. Any helpful tips that you have, or anything you struggle with and wish to share, I would love to add my 2 cents. And be well. Bye.